Hello, 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 folks. I'm being challenged again today to follow my beliefs. I'm not going to let it get me, but what we do when friends or loved ones are being harassed and lied upon and taken advantage of, boy, that's one of the things that pushes us the hardest, isn't it? Uh, I don't know. I don't know exactly. Well, I do know. I mean, I know what I've got to do. What I got to do is help protect my friend, but at the same time, not let myself build up or give in to any kind of hate for the person that is the harasser. And not easy. Not easy. I mean, I do know that this harasser has deep, deep, serious issues. I've known that for quite some time, and I have to come to terms with that reality, because it is a reality. This is a very sick individual. It's a person that has some bad problems, personality issues, as well as many other issues. I could tell the first time that I talked to this person that they were full of problems and scared, and that's the thing. When a person has these problems and they do bad things and they take advantage of other people and hurt them, a lot of times you will find out, and I dare say it's the truth in almost every case, that they have such insecurities themselves that they live in a perpetual fear of the world, and they don't want anybody to see them in that condition or the weakness that they have. But so while I have to do everything I can to stop them from continuing to harm other people, and especially my friend, I at the same time can't allow myself to hate them. That's part of the sickness. That's part of the illness that they have, and I can't let it infect me, or we just perpetuate the illness and the hate and the distrust and the fear and the greed and all those bad things that come up, especially greed and the lust for power. And I think a lot of that stuff comes from fear also. In fact, I know pretty well it does. Like I've said before, a person that does bad things is sick themselves most of the time, if not all of the time. They are dealing with inner turmoils and inner fear themselves. They think, because of things we've been taught and how we've been raised for hundreds of years, they think that getting some of these things will alleviate the pain that they're in. Lots of things can trigger mental illness with these people. I mean, it is a form of mental illness. Greed is a form of mental. All those negatives are a form of mental illness. Anger, hate, all of those things are a form of mental illness, and especially when they keep going and keep going, and they can get locked into a forever cycle too, and it's bad. But anyway, so that's what I'm dealing with, and I know that's what hundreds and thousands of you are dealing with every day too, that you bump into the same kind of situations. but it's how you deal with it that is the most important. So in a case like this, where someone is hurting a friend of yours or a family member of yours, a loved one of yours, you have to, you want to, your reaction is you want to jump forward right away and attack them, but that does no good. That perpetuates the problem. You need to step back, take a breath, and then figure out how to protect the person that you care about that is being attacked, how to stop the attacks from that other person. And sometimes, depending on the type of attack, sometimes that means you have to get help. You have to get the authorities involved. You have to get somebody like that involved to help. But in a lot of cases, when it's just words, and I say just words loosely because words hurt. When it's something to discredit somebody or make them look bad that someone is doing out there, you got to find some other way to stop that, and you got to do all that you can do without perpetuating hate and violence, while you are using your empathy for both parties, for everyone involved. You might claim that the attacker does not deserve empathy, but again, if you've listened to anything I've said and anything about the way I feel, I don't feel that way. I feel that they are sick too. Doesn't stop me from getting mad or angry, which I've already gone through that today. But I knew better than to respond out of anger. I knew I needed to step back and take my breaths and calm down on it. Your normal reaction and your regular reaction is of course the protection and jumping in and trying to stop them physically or verbally. And in those cases, when you're working from that kind of an emotion that's not good, you will end up doing or saying the wrong thing. And so we have to issue a little bit of control. Anyway, I can say this, guys, don't ever take a post you see on social media or anything like that as being the whole story, because a lot of times it isn't. People do get hacked. People do lose their minds and say they do maybe drink too much or whatever and then post. So that's the same thing as losing your mind, basically, because you're handicapping your mind. You're harming it, and you're not in your right frame of mind when you are inebriated on whatever substance you may be inebriated on. Some worse than others. Alcohol definitely one of the bad ones. Anyway, I needed to say that. And I needed to say that even though this is a person that lots of people love and you want to jump up and you want to fight for them, choose how you fight properly. Don't cause more chaos and harm from you trying to do the right thing. Step back. Everything must come from a place of love and understanding. It just has to. There's no argument I can give here except for that's just the way I believe. And I can't make you believe anything or make you act a different way. But I ask you this. I can't make you do it, but I ask that you do this. When you're going to react to something, stop, step back, take a breath, and calm down. Start to think with a clear head, and maybe you'll think of a better way to deal with the problem. Anyway, keep loving, guys. Keep loving. Even the people, and especially the people that seem to you like they don't deserve it. Everybody was a baby once. Everybody was pure love once. And so put them back in that in your mind and feel for them. Because hate, greed, all of that stuff is a sickness, and it is not coming from love ever. That's easy enough to understand. Negative, bad things don't come from a place of love. Well, anything that doesn't come from a place of love, it causes us harm. It causes everyone harm around us. Only love heals. That's it. It's the only force in the universe that heals. I love you all very much. And thank you for listening to me. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.